welcome to today's session on monitoring visit reports for medical device studies. My name is Marla Helly. I will be your trainer today. Today we're going to look at the following learning objectives. We will describe the requirements of documenting our monitoring visit for a medical device study. We also will recognize the importance of a well-written monitoring visit report that is going to be used in an audit situation, either through internal audits that are done within our company or organization, and then we may even be inspected by regulatory authorities such as the FDA. We're also going to look at how we can effectively manage our sites and sponsor activities and document those appropriately during the monitoring visit report. So let's first look at the definition of monitoring. ICH GCP defines monitoring as the act of overseeing the progress of a clinical trial and ensuring that this trial not only is conducted but recorded and reported in accordance with the protocol, our standard operating procedures or SOPs, and good clinical practice, as well as the applicable regulatory requirements. We also will have documentation of our monitoring in a monitoring report. And ICH defines our monitoring report as the report from that monitor that will go to the sponsor after each site visit and or other trial-related communication according to the SOPs that we've established as the monitor. So before we jump into our session for today, I'd like to ask, why is it that we monitor clinical trials? Let's take a moment and have you think about this and provide your answer. So you may use the chat button in responding to this question. So we do it for compliance. We do. Any other thoughts as to why we monitor our clinical trials? We want to ensure compliance at the site level. What are we seeking compliance to? Oversight of good clinical practice. We also are looking to ensure subject safety when we go out to monitor. So ICH says that the purpose of us going out to monitor is ensuring that our subjects are being protected. How is it they're being protected? Well, first we want to ensure that those patients were consented to the clinical trial, that they're eligible for participation, that the investigator is following the protocol clinical investigational plan, ensuring that those procedures are done. So those procedures are written in our protocol as a part of safety, if you will. So we are doing certain procedures. Perhaps our trial requires a CT scan to assess for the procedure that was done using the device to see how the patient is doing. Perhaps we have lab work that's drawn to assess for any toxicity. So if that is omitted, then the safety of that patient can be compromised. Also, we need to ensure that the documentation that the investigative site has collected is not only accurate, but it needs to be complete, and we want to verify this to the data that is in the case report form, whether it is paper or electronic. And like you said, we want to ensure there's compliance, and that compliance is to the protocol amendments, good clinical practice, and other applicable regulatory requirements. So here's another question. What do the regulations state about how sponsors will select monitors? Do you have any thoughts on this as to what the regulations state and how we select our monitors as sponsors? And then the second question, what do the regulations state about the sponsor creating monitoring procedures? Are those procedures a requirement according to the regulations? Take a moment and share your response. So, very good. Monitors must be qualified through training and experience. So, that is true. And then what about procedures for monitoring? Do the regulations have any information regarding those procedures? What do you think? Share your thoughts. Suggested that we have and follow SOPs for monitoring. Okay, very good. You are correct. So on this slide here, regulations do not necessarily tell us how we are going to monitor per se. Simply, as you mentioned, sponsors are required to select monitors that are qualified by training and experience to monitor the investigative study. And also, there is reference to the sponsor CROs or monitoring procedures or written SOPs for the particular aspect of monitoring. So the procedures regarding the frequency, scope, and the process the monitor CRO or monitor uses to monitoring the progress of the written investigation. Device regulations 21 CFR 812.25 require that there is monitoring procedures as part of the investigation plan.